Alright, hello folks and welcome to Let's Drive in American Truck Simulator. This will be multiplayer with your host Hardtruck1 here. Before we get started with any runs, I would like to take and say that last video that was uploaded a week and a half ago, this video and any future videos are going to be up in the air, so to speak, because although I have found a recording software, OBS, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's called Open Broadcasting Software. It's software that you can stream to like Twitch and YouTube, or you can take and record videos and stuff like that. Before we get into a run, this is going to be kind of a quick, I'm going to say quick-ish, maybe an hour or so drive, with me talking off and on, maybe. But anyway, what I was going to say anyway, the videos are going to be kind of hit and miss, as I have not found a better computer. I'm still using the old dinosaur. But at least I found a software that as you can see by the truck image, it does a lot better than XSplit. I was having some issues where XSplit was just way too heavy on my computer system. For recording and playing, because as you know from me in some of my videos, it doesn't like to play nice. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on the road, shall we? I am going to take and put a word of caution to anybody that listens to or watches my videos. This is multiplayer, and in multiplayer they have voice communication in there via CB. I know I could change the channel, but I like listening to the chatter and stuff. Just be warned that you may hear some foul language here and there as you go. Okay. So a lot of these runs are long distance. Let's get down here. Oh, and by the way, I am going to pick one from the external contracts. No, Arizona's a little too... Here we go. Let's see, Los Angeles, Sahara Vista. Where's that at? I have not been to that town. I think I'm going to go to that town. Okay. So we are doing tableware from Sell Goods to Walbert, aka Walmart, for $7,800, and it's 33,000 pounds mass. That's roughly 15.7 tons, I believe, or roughly to it. And it's fragile cargo. Okay, more money for us. Fragile cargo. We're gonna go ahead and click that. Connecting to the server. Now, what I haven't mentioned before in some of my videos is I have I had a PS3, and unfortunately the PS3 quit working. I kind of overheated it and it fried itself. So unfortunately for me, I don't have my PS3. That's good. But fortunately for me, though, I found my PS3's controller. Oh look, we're right here. My PS3's controller actually works on my laptop with the help of a software called MotionJoy. If you don't know what MotionJoy is, just Google MotionJoy and it'll show you what it is. I did not. Oh, that's because I'm driving my larger truck. Let's get a little bit straighter. That guy's on his cell phone. Did you guys see that? Oh, no. He's not on his cell phone. He's washing the building. And I'm sorry, again, I have to apologize for the jarriness and stuff of the video. Because like I said, I still well, I was not straight with that one, was I? Oh, wrong button. Oh no, that's the right button. Anyway. So, oh, it's 6 p.m. I didn't turn the lights off. So anyway, I'm using my PS3 controller through that software to control my truck. And at the end of the run, I'll show you, if I remember, I'll show you how I have it set up. Both in motion. Actually, no, I'll just show you in the truck how it's set up. We are going to need to go by a fuel station before we get too far out. So, anyway, we're off to the southern part. This ought to be a short journey. We may run across some other people driving, maybe. And if you're wondering why the camera flicks back and forth, it's because I have the inner camera set up to one of the analog sticks to center my camera. And then I'm just using my left analog stick to look left and right. So, short note on this game, and on ATS as well, which is Euro Truck Simulator 2. The mirrors. I don't like the mirrors, the way they move. For instance, while we're stopped here, see, if I look left, or if I look right, watch my mirror. See, my mirror moves. And it does the same thing when I look out the back window. I don't think any of those should actually move. Whoop, too low of a gear. I don't think those should move. If that's a setting or something in that can be disabled or something in the game. I would love to know that. I would love to know how to disable it, because that drives me up a wall. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna run the... There we go. But yeah, we're getting going here. It's 65, dude. Change already. Thank you. Yeah. What was I talking about? And see, folks, this is why sometimes I say I may or may not be speaking throughout this journey, because I usually get to a point where I don't have a clue what to talk about, and I know that's not very good for making videos. I guess we can talk about oh, I know a thing that we can talk about, or that we can, yeah, that we can chit chat about. I want to know from those of you that play ATS, especially ATS, what are your thoughts on SCS? I'm stumbling because I'm trying to figure out how to word this correctly. What are your thoughts on oh crap, I'm gonna slow down a little further. Whoa! Okay, we're going past the Grand Canyon. That's why, I believe. Whoa! Oh, I ran over one of those stupid little... Okay, first one was my fault. Second one was not my fault. One of those stupid little things almost turned me over. I'm not gonna keep it that speed, especially for how laggy my computer is, which I apologize for the lag. Okay. Anyway, ooh, hello, motorcycles, cool. I'm sorry for the buzzing if you guys can hear it. It's a stupid fly buzzing around me. It's annoying. Okay. So I'm just gonna, I can't figure out how to word it correctly, but here's the latest, I'm gonna say gossip right at the moment because it hasn't been changed yet. So as I understand it, SCS is going to make ATS's United States map in the same scale as ETS is set up already. Now, what I want to know is, do you think it's a good idea for them to make a map that will be as large as the United States? In that scale, because I know when they get all the way across the United States, all the way to New York, when they actually get all of that put together, that's a gas station, but it's not, doesn't have register as a gas station. Well, I hope I have enough fuel to get to the next gas station. Because that was not a gas station, even though it was a gas station. So anyway, when they actually get that as large as they say they're going to, because what I understand, it's going to be, you know, from coast to coast. You're going to be from California, like, let's do San Francisco to California, I'm assuming all the way over to Maine. I don't know a town in Maine, but Maine is actually, technically, geographically speaking, Maine is actually the furthest state in the United States. Furthest east state that we have. So if that's the case, by scaling it up to whatever Euro Truck Simulator is that going to make it in such a way that if you try to drive from coast to coast, how, you know, is it going to take so long that, you know, nobody's going to want to take and drive that anymore? Sorry, the fly's bugging me again. Or would it make the game better? I'll drop a lower gear here. Pulling a hill. And another thing, not related to the map size, but, well, it actually is related to the map, but not the size of the map. But what I want to know, another question I want to know, is are they going to have some of the more challenging roads implemented into ATS? For example, I live in an area where it is very mountainous terrain. Some of the semis that go through the mountains here, they have to literally crawl. Some of the heavier semis, they literally have to crawl up the hill. And some of them, in some of the northern places where it snows, which that brings up another question, but I'll get to that one in a minute. You know, are we going to be able to have like push trucks, like let's say multiplayer? In multiplayer, are we going to be able to have the ability to have push trucks, like, you know, say for instance you have like a 45-ton trailer and you get to a hill that has like snow or very little grip and everything. Are you going to get to a point where, hello, are we going to get to a point where, you know, we can start cooperatively running vehicles. Like, let's say I have a buddy that has a load, has a really heavy load going to a certain place, and will need help going up certain hills. Oh goody, we got a fuel station right in front of us. That's great. We'll need help going up certain hills, so would I be able to purchase a system for the front of my truck that would allow me to pretty much follow him up and give him a helping hand up those certain hills. And then then on to the next question. Are we going to be able to, have situations where, we're driving on snow and we end up having to stop and put on chains and be able to just be able to kind of, I know it's really hard for video games to replicate the real world, but it would be kind of cool to see, different aspects of the real world added in. That is not very realistic. That's coming in way too fast. But anyway, it would be cool. It would be nice to see some of that kind of implemented in to the game. Whether it's whether it can be or whether it can't be, or whether maybe you could mimic it or not, would be kind of nice. But anyway, let me hear your thought. I want to hear your thoughts on all three of those questions. Whether or not you would like to see, whether or not the map will be benefited by having it switch to the larger scale. Okay, I just barely touched it. And your thoughts on whether or not you would like to see some of the more challenging roads actually brought to ATS. And I know there's some to each in Europe too that aren't actually in Europe. Sorry, just concentrating here for a second. I ran over the curve. Of course, in the end, I can't really help that because large truck, large trailer. Yep. And then let me know in the comments whether or not they should try to implement snowy areas. Like at higher, where'd that word come from? Like at higher elevations, you know, whether they should implement some snow to make it a little more difficult. And maybe add more and you know, like add like a little more challenging areas where it's like, okay, let's say you got a stretch of road that, you know, with larger tanks, you know, with larger fuel tanks, you know, it's not nearly a problem driving down the road. But like, let's say you're just starting off and you just have the little tank, and that tank just would barely get you to the next stop going through that road. Or, you know, or have a mountain pass that, you know, if you drive too fast and too carelessly on that road, you're going to end up in the bottom of a canyon. You know. And just normal, you know, normal everyday things that you come across and everything. You know, animals. You know, you accidentally, you know, it happens in real life. You know, you hit a deer, you hit an elk, or someone's pet or something, you know, and everything. And another thing that I would like to see actually changed and implemented in is the fact that your police vehicles and stuff, like in single player, instead of just instantly giving you a ticket, have them in such a way that they have to chase after the vehicle to give them a ticket, and it would be up to the driver whether or not want to pull over, you know. But don't make it too easy for them, you know. Make it in such a way that, you know, for every, you know, few miles, like let's say 5 to 6 miles, that they don't pull over, you add, you know, like you add like a, I hate this vehicle, it tips too much. You add like another police car to the chase, and when you get up to like 3 or 4 vehicles chasing after you, then they start doing things to try to stop you. You know, they come up, pull in front of you, and slow down. Like every couple, you know, every so often they'll do that. If you continue to go, then they up the ante by swerving, you know, coming over and touching your truck, and make it in such a way that the truck doesn't take damage for that, unless they get a little too aggressive, or unless they get to a position that's like, you know, an oncoming car and they have to pull hard to keep from hitting the car. And then the big guns come out. After that, those attempts don't work, then the big guns come out. And when I say big guns, I mean like spike strips, roadblocks, spike strips. I know I'm kind of getting into a really heavy type of coding and stuff with all this, but I mean, I don't think it would be very hard, because there's actually like 4 or 5 older games than this that actually have those type of scripts, and really truthfully it would not be that hard to implement those scripts into a game like ATS and Euro Truck Simulator, or American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. It would not be hard at all. I mean, yes, it would probably take some finagling, but it would not be hard at all. Another thing that I would like to see implemented in is the fact that in single player you have like emergency vehicles and stuff that you have to pull over for. And another thing that would be kind of a cool thing to see is on the trucks themselves. It would be kind of nice to see the actual damage that you're doing to your truck. And then another cool thing about on top of that would be the fact that if you accidentally ram your truck into anything, pole, like the pole there, or a guardrail or anything like that, and it puts some major damage onto your truck, like let's say it just totals it, it would be kind of cool to see that truck burst into flames. You know, it'd be kind of nice to see the truck go up in flames. And then it would also be a cool addition to that is when the truck goes up in flames, you actually have to call emergency services to come and put out the truck, and then you would have to tow your truck, and then have a tow truck come and pick it up and haul it away. It'd be really cool. It'd be really cool to see stuff like that. And everything. So anyway, even on that, I would like to hear your comments and stuff on, you know, all of that stuff. We're coming up on a little less than about 70 miles. Yeah, I know, I waited until it changed to 70. We're coming up to about 70 miles on our destination. I have no idea which town this is. I didn't pay attention to what it was. So, but anyway, yeah. And like I said at the beginning of the video, it's really hard. I gotta turn my lights on. It's really hard. Oh, I bet you my computer doesn't like that. My computer does not like running games. Oh, hello. Right ahead, dude. Well, that guy was nice. He actually waited for a little while before he pulled over. A lot of people that I encounter on the road, they don't do that. It's like they immediately pull over in front of you. It's very annoying, especially with my computer being not the strongest. in the world. It doesn't necessarily have the greatest, track record for what is called ping. I mean, I could look right now and show you that my ping is like 50, and a lot of people say that that's pretty darn good, but my computer does not interpret that as very good. My computer says, you're gonna lag like crazy. Slow down, Betsy. I know it's green, but holy crap. I'm not a NASCAR driver. Hey, a dinosaur. Cool. Hello, Dino. For those of you that don't know who Dino is, Dino was a dog character on a show from the late 80s, early 90s. Actually, in fact, it could have been a little bit older than that, but it was called The Flintstones. With Fred Flintstone, Wilma Flintstone, and you had Barney Rubble and Betty Rubble. And in the later part of the series, then you had Fred and Wilma's child, which was named Pebbles, and then Betty and Rubble's adopted son, named Bam Bam. So, little cartoon history there. And yes, I'm a cartoon buff. I can't deny that. Alright, we're coming up on Sahara Vista, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Really? Okay. Map makers, whoever made this map, I don't know of any place Cool, I got an achievement. You cannot see that because it doesn't show up. Okay, the map makers that made this map for the United States, I hate to tell you, but all of the roads are wrong. Every single road that you guys have done in these parts of the maps so far are completely wrong. Most highways are not 75 miles an hour. They're 65 miles an hour. And most offbeat roads are, the max on them is 55 depending. And most cities are 30 to 35 miles an hour. I have not seen any town whatsoever, even in certain parts of Arizona that I know of. I have never seen a city speed limit 25 miles an hour. The only time that I have seen a 25 mile an hour zone in a city is if you are driving through a residential area. This is not a residential area. This is a back not back oh, it was right at the tip of my tongue and I forgot it. Anyway, that part of that road back there, or this road, I should say, would be classified as a 30 to 35 mile an hour road. That one right there, the one that goes right past these two, would be 30 miles. That other one over there would probably be 35 to 40 miles an hour. Most of the roads that I have seen, they do not call for a 25 mile an hour speed limit. So, I'm sorry to take and rant a little bit about that, but like I said, I have never seen anywhere a city. Shut up, phone. I've never seen a city that has required a 25 mile an hour speed limit. Let's see. I didn't swing wide enough, did I? Dang it. Straight. Turn. And pardon me for driving up a wall, but I just recently bought this truck, as you can see. As you can see with the amount of miles that's on it. And it is one of the big long wheelbase trucks. Previously I had a smaller truck. I'm trying not to say the names of the trucks because for copyright reasons and stuff for YouTube. I mean, I'm probably going to get copyrighted a bunch for mentioning what the names of the games and stuff. Oop, wrong one. Dang, I couldn't do any better even if I tried. Alright. So, anyway, that's going to... Well, hang on. Let's drop the trailer. That's a cool mechanic that they added in. And let's see what we got for our run. Nice. That's pretty good. So anyway, folks, that's going to be it. I'm going to return up here, and we're going to go outside. We're going to look at this nice truck. Did I park? Alright, so that's going to be it for this run. Hope everybody enjoyed. Like I said earlier, I would like to hear your comments and everything on the map and other extras that you would like to see in ATS and ETS. And I don't usually do this on most of my videos, but if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like or not. It's up to you. I don't judge. Please, for those that know ATS and would like to see, I would like to see your comments on what SCS should add and what multiplayer should add. And I would also like to know what your guys' thoughts on SCS maybe upscaling the United States map to what Eurotruck it is, and just general comments and stuff too. For those. Side note, for those of you that, because I'm a new, kind of a newish, well, not a newish channel, but since I'm a small channel, for those of you that want me to sub back, sub for sub, I'm sorry, but I don't do that. I will sub to your channel if I like your channel, and you can do the same or not, doesn't matter. And definitely for those that, you know, put conditions on subbing and stuff, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sub to your channel for that. The only way I'm going to sub to your channel is if I like your content. If I don't like your content, I probably won't sub. If I do, I may sub. But I'm not going to do the conditioning thing just for a sub. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to call it here. As you know, this is ATS. I'm Hardtruck1, and hope to see you around the turntable. Oh wait, that's a train reference. Hope to see you on the road. There we go. Alright, take care everybody. Laters.